I know how you are about birthdays, and I figured this one might really send you into a funk.
No, besides, I still got 4 days to go.
Well, I have been delegated by your friends and colleagues to inquire how best to celebrate the big event.
I'm not a big event kind of guy. It's just another day.
Come on, Frank. You only turn 40 once. People want to show their affection.
Really, I don't want anybody going any trouble.
It's no trouble.
Judy,
Hello, Reese.
you're looking lovely, as always.
Thank you.
And the birthday boy. You're not looking so bad yourself, given your years. Vigorous, unlined. A stranger would never guess your true age.
Actually, my birthday isn't for another...
Yeah. A small token of my affection. Open it.
The key to the presidential suite?
Indeed. Where champagne and cake await.
Really, Louise?
No protestations, Frank. Otherwise, I am fully prepared to have 10 waiters circle this table and sing happy birthday in heavily accented English.
Thank you.
Feliz cumpleaños, mi amigo.
Muchas gracias.
Jody.
Dom Perignon 85. How nice. And look at this. Now, you have to have a slice of this masterpiece.
Oh, you go ahead. I'm stuffed.
Come on, close your eyes and make a wish. Come on, Frank. Frank, you have to live a little.
Okay, just a little taste.
What happened? Did a big dog bite you on your birthday when you were a kid?
It's not like I don't enjoy other people's birthdays. It's just my own. I don't know. It means another year's gone, another year's opportunities missed.
And I'm going to make it my mission to teach you to experience your birthday as a gateway to a new year of boundless possibilities.
You're gonna be my guru.
Yeah.
Couldn't ask for a prettier one.
And come into my temple, grasshopper. And let me introduce you to the mysteries that await.
Mm-hmm.
These can go.
Roger that.
I'm telling you, the man is a human wet blanket.
Hey, man, some people just don't celebrate birthdays.
The deceased, for instance.
I was terrified of birthdays as a kid, but that's because we used to break open piñatas. But my brother told me that piñatas had once been real animals that were force-fed candy and small toys by cruel piñata ranchers.
Morning.
Morning.
Good morning. Can't let this one go by, Frank.
What one,
The
Steve?
big one, 4-0. It's a milestone, which ought to be observed, embraced, and celebrated.
Steve,
Come on, how about a little barbecue or something? Bowling?
bowling? I don't think so.
Hopeless. The man is hopeless.
Hey, Mr. Wegman,
What?
do you have anything you need me to refundamentalize?
Hey, kid, I want to talk to you about this Rosenfeld 3000 for a second, okay?
Yeah, sure.
Come here. Now, you and I both know that you went down to Office Depot, bought a shredder, and slapped your name on it.
That's not entirely true.
No?
The decollating pincers and the bleaching tray are totally my idea.
Son, just because I stuck a quad exhaust system on my Cadillac doesn't mean I drive a 1962 Wegman. Get it?
Do you know who invented the light bulb?
Thomas Vulva Edison.
Wrong. There had been dozens of bulbs around before Edison. But he took the idea, switched to a tungsten filament, and got all the credit.
Really?
Yeah. I just did a 30-page essay on the history of knowledge.
Yeah. You just might be going places after all, kid.
Well, what I really want to be is a PI.
No. I don't know. It takes a special kind of breed. Tough, resourceful. A man who's unafraid to walk down the mean streets by himself. A man you treat with respect or rue the day you ever lay down. A modern-day knight whose code of chivalry requires him to protect the little guy, defend the defenseless. And when push comes to shove, you gotta do what it takes to get the job done. Even if that means ripping out the still beating heart of your own mother.
I could do that.
The name of the game? Results.
Listen, you think if I asked Mr. Sisko, he'd give me a chance to be an operative?
Absolutely. Go ahead.
We asked Barry to set up this meeting because we're in an adoption situation and we've hit a brick wall.
We have a young mother, Karen Diebold, who's agreed to let the Lieblings adopt her child. The problem is, so far she's refused to reveal the identity of the father.
Which is unacceptable.
To you.
Don't you want to know if this baby could have some inheritable disease or a history of emotional problems on the father's side? I think we're entitled to have all the facts.
Where is the girl now?
The Lieblings are underwriting her stay at Cypress Meadows in San Marino. That's a facility for unwed mothers.
Karen didn't want to live at home. Her parents were extremely upset over the pregnancy.
Plus, they're frustrated by the fact that even though they're the biological grandparents, they have no legal standing in this matter.
How far along is she?
Just started her 3rd trimester.
Candidly, I'm running out of patience. The girl has been stonewalling us for months. Unless we get some answers pretty soon, I'm prepared to move on.
And I want this baby.
Do you want the rug pulled out from under you again? Because I sure as hell don't. A year ago, we adopted a son. He'd been living in our home for 2 weeks when the birth mother shows up on the doorstep and wanted him back.
Karen's not going to do that to us.
We don't know the father won't.
I'm sure he's some boy who could care less what happens to his child.
Well, I'm not going to risk putting us through that nightmare again.
It sounds to me like maybe you folks need to talk this over some more.
I'm not saying we shouldn't take steps to find out who this person is. But if we pressure Karen too much, she could decide to give this baby to someone else. Someone who won't be able to give it the kind of life we can.
If that happens, of our hands and not our problem.
Let me see what I can do.
Thank you.
Morning, Mr. Miller.
Hiya, gorgeous. Has he got a minute?
Yeah, he just finished up.
You know, if I were 30 years younger, I'd be after those blue eyes in a heartbeat.
Hey, Dad.
Hey. I'm sorry for just showing up like this.
Everything okay?
Yeah. Well, no. I got a situation on my hands that's kind of complicated. I had a theft at my house.
When?
Last night. And I think the thief is a friend of mine. Stan Chinich, an old Marine buddy.
What's missing?
My Congressional Medal of Honor.
Your Congressional Medal of Honor.
Yeah.
You never mentioned that before.
Well, I'm not too big on tooting my own horn.
How'd you come by that?
Korea. I was out on patrol, came across some buddies pinned down out of ammo. I did what I had to do to get them the hell out of there. I got a little dinged up in the process, so they threw a gold star at me. It was no big thing.
You think your friend took it?
Stan's been having a lot of problems lately. Waging his own private war with the VA over benefits he thinks he's getting screwed out of. Been hitting the sauce pretty hard. And last week, he starts bitching about how he should have got a medal too, and the next thing I know, mine's gone.
Sounds like he's your culprit.
Yeah, I feel sorry for the guy in a way, but you know, you don't go around stealing from your friends. You know what I'm saying.
I'll take care of it.
Ah, that's great. Here's the address. Maybe you ought to send one of the other people like that Wegman fella, because if I'm wrong about this, Stan's a friend, you know. I don't want you having to back out of a cover story, even if you meet him sometime.
Good thinking. I'll get Steve on it.
Oh, much appreciated. I'm gonna pass him the coffee and let you get back to work. We should get together some night for a beer.
I'd like that. Geneva, call Barry Gilroy's office and get the number for Karen Diebold's parents. I'd like to meet with them today, if possible.
Okay.
Mr. Cisco, can I just talk to you for a minute, please?
You bet.
Okay.
I'm pulling for George.
What's on your mind?
Well, I've been working here for a week now, and I think I've demonstrated the value of both the Rosenfeld 3000 and myself.
Your shredding services have been outstanding.
Thank you. As I look down the road, years or so, I see myself where you are, head of my own firm. A larger one, of course, with offices in major cities around the world.
It's important to have a goal.
Absolutely. But in order to achieve that goal, I need experience, which is why I would like you to consider bringing me on board. And not as a full-time agent, of course, more like an agent trainee.
You're still in high school.
I can work after school and weekends and holidays. Plus, I have fourth period free on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I can be a real rainmaker for this firm.
Robbie, I think you're getting a little out in front of things. First of all, you're too young.
My youth is an asset, Mr. Cisco. New blood, new insights. I could start a youth division, track down missing parents, kids who sabotage other kids, science projects, background checks on babysitters.
You have to be 21 to get a PI license, and I can't have anyone working for me who's not licensed. However, we do need a gopher around here. What are we paying you now for your shredding services?
$49.99 a month.
What do you say we throw in another 50 bucks a week?
A gopher, huh? Well, I guess opportunities come in all kinds of packages. You got a deal.
First assignment, when I get back to the office, I'm going to want a tuna on rye for lunch.
Tuna on rye, right.
I appreciate you taking the time to see me. The Lieblings have hired me to find out who fathered this child, not go on a fishing expedition into your daughter's life.
Then why are you bothering us?
Please understand, Mr. Diebold, I'm not an adversary in this.
Yeah, well, gee, the weight of the world is off my shoulders.
My only purpose is to find out the information my client needs so this adoption goes through, and the child can have the love and care it deserves.
Karen was such a sweet kid. She was so happy and open. And now we barely even know her.
I understand how difficult this is for you both. Is there anything you can tell me about Karen's social life? Friends, boys she might have been interested in?
There was a time that we knew everything about Karen. She'd confide in us, and she'd come and she'd ask us for advice.
And then all of a sudden this happens, and she treats us like strangers. No, worse, like the enemy. Do you have children?
No.
Well, then you can't possibly know what it is like to love someone more than you love yourself, and then just be shut out of her life. That's what my baby girl has done to us.
We were so proud of her. She was going to be the first person in the family to go to college.
Instead, she's got to drop out of school because this little bastard knocks her up. And then she protects this. Her life is ruined, and he gets off scot-free.
Jack.
I want you to find this guy, Mr. Cisco. I want to know who he is, because I want to kill him for what he has done to my little girl.
What?
I know that look. 1,000-yard stare.
Thinking about the Diebold girl.
Any hunches?
I think maybe she was raped. Possibly by someone she knew.
That would explain a lot. She feels totally humiliated, maybe partly responsible for what happened.
If it was a date rape situation, I gotta believe somebody else knows what went down. One of her girlfriends, maybe one of the guy's buddies.
Good luck getting any one of them to talk.
Tell me about it.
Do you have any other way to go here?
I better find one, because if I don't pry the information out of somebody, there's more at stake here than an unhappy client. That little girl and her baby lose, too. Was there something you needed, Robbie?
No. No, I'm just finishing up. Got a minute, Mr. Cisco?
What's up?
Your car's washed and gassed. You were low on oil, so I added a quart of 10W40. Oh, and your left rear tire needed air.
Thanks.
No problem.
Is there something else you needed?
Well, I couldn't help overhearing your conversation earlier about Karen Diebold. We go to the same high school. I mean, we did before she dropped out.
Oh.
Mr. Cisco, there's something about me I think you should know. I would have come forward earlier, but I just didn't know how to tell you. I'm the father.
Excuse me?
Yeah, of Karen's baby. We were in French club together, okay? And about 6 months ago, we took a field trip to the museum to see some exhibit on Impressionism. All the dots, they kind of got to me after a while, you know, her too. I had my mom's car, so we just decided to split. Only instead of taking her home, I took her up to Griffith Park. Along the way, I stopped and used my fake ID to buy some wine. I guess I was hoping to achieve with alcohol what I had been so unsuccessful in achieving with my personality. Which was just to get her to notice me, you know? She noticed me, all right. Next thing I knew, I had coitus for the first time. Her too. How could something so beautiful turn out like this?
You're a big man for coming forward, Robbie.
Yeah.
And a bigger phony.
Okay, but consider the genius of what I'm proposing here. You need to deliver a name to the Lieblings. I take one for the team and give you that name. Robert Emil Rosenfeld. Everybody wins.
Only it's not true.
It's the ultimate pretext. I pretend to be the father, and everything's cool.
What you are proposing is that we lie to our client, which is fraud, which is illegal, which would cost you your license if you were old enough to have one, and probably land you in jail.
So you hate the idea?
Let's just say that I draw the line at things that are immoral, unethical, and unprofessional.
You rang?
Listen, I'll tell you what. Let me run with this investigation. Okay, I know these kids. I know who Karen talks to, who she confides in.
Robbie, you were hired as a gopher, not an investigator.
But I can go where you can't, Mr. Cisco. High school turf.
This is not a debate. You keep your nose out of it, period.
Fine. You're the boss.
I see a little myself in that kid. Oh, on your dad's Lost Medal of Honor?
His buddy's got it?
Affirmative. I used the old real estate agent making cold calls routine, and when I steered the conversation over to our respective careers in the military, this guy started bragging, yada, 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 how he won the Medal of Honor, hauls it out of the safe, and he shows it to me.
Good work.
All right, so I'm going to set up on Stan's house, suss out his routine, and figure out the best time for you and me to go in there and steal it back.
Let's try to go in the front door first. I'll talk to my old man, see if he can get his buddy to see the light.
Your call. Oh, wait a minute. All right, I know it's still a couple days till your birthday, but I couldn't wait, Frank.
Steve.
Come on, open it up. It's gonna knock your socks off. It's an ant farm.
An ant farm.
Yeah, you're gonna really dig this. It's relaxing, it's educational, and all you gotta do is feed it some garbage once in a while and watch them breed.
I don't know what to say.
Hey, no words necessary, Frank. I know what's in your heart. Happy birthday. I love you, man.
Hey, Bosco. Bosco, listen. You gotta help me out, buddy.
Beat it.
How long have I been equipment manager for the team?
I don't know. Since sophomore year?
Right. And haven't I always made sure that you always get the best shoulder pads and the newest model cups available? Look, I need a favor.
Look, man, I got a World Civ paper due tomorrow, which I haven't even started. Eyeball this, I'm on Academic Pro and off the team.
Okay, this will only take 2 minutes of your time. Look, I'm submitting an original play along with my college applications, and I'm stuck.
The only play I ever read was Casey at the Bat.
That's a poem.
Whatever.
Right. Anyway, I'm adapting Hawthorne's The Scarlet Letter and I'm setting it in the 11th grade. Characters are based on people that I know. Now, the heroine, Chloe, is pregnant with the love child of a very handsome transfer student named Rolf.
Rolf?
Yeah.
Like in Puke?
No. Anyway, the part that I'm at is where the young mother has been shunned by her family and has gone to live in a trailer park in Lake Elsinore. Now, the child, which may or may not be the Messiah, I haven't decided, might be over the top, is going to be born any second. Now, I'm basing Chloe on Karen Diepholt, and I need your help with the character of the father.
Rolf?
Well, the guy who got Karen pregnant. He's the model.
And what makes you think I know who he is?
Well, Karen's very best bud in the whole wide world is Melanie. And Melanie is your squeeze. So, you know, I gotta believe that Karen told Melanie and Melanie told you.
Well, she didn't.
Come on, man. I cannot go with the virgin birth. It's already been done.
Sorry.
Bosco.
Look, even if I did know, Melanie would kill me if I told you.
She'd also dump you in a heartbeat if you got kicked off the football team. How about I write that paper for you?
Oh, man.
I'll ace it, guaranteed.
If this gets out...
It won't. It won't. The only people who are going to read this are the admissions committee at Harvard.
You've got to promise you'll never tell.
My word as varsity equipment manager.
Was Ted?
Ted Hardy? Why would a superstar quarterback want to get it on with Karen Diepholt?
I don't know. It was a bet or something. Melanie says Ted gave Karen a roofie to loosen her up.
You have just given me a terrific third act.
Yeah. Well, I need my paper by noon tomorrow.
Big guy. It's as good as written. Ted, look, I know you're probably busy, but I was wondering if I could talk to you about a situation that you could help me with.
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, well, you see, there's this girl in the string quartet, and she plays viola. She's all right, let me back up. Look, I have it on good authority that you might be able to put me together with a roofie or two.
I don't know what you're talking about.
There could be a significant financial upside for you. Look, but Bosco Lewis told me, in confidence, that you might have a couple of extra that you'd be willing to part with. You know, for the right price, of course.
Bosco Lewis has a big mouth.
But he probably felt sorry for me, given my situation. You see, this girl is a stone, therefore completely out of my league, but, you know, I figured if I slipped her a roofie after rehearsal tonight, maybe she can learn to love me, if you catch my drift. Look, I'm willing to drop some serious buck here, okay? This is one chick I gotta have.
How much money are we talking about?
100. I've tried everything else. Flowers, heartfelt poetry. The gloves are off, man.
It's easy. Guy's gotta do what a guy's gotta do.
Right. So you're sure this is gonna work, right?
It's guaranteed.
You're positive?
Trust me.
Because, I mean, at 100 a throw, it's a lot of money, you know?
I got the biggest prude in the junior class chugging like a choo-choo up one of these things. She never even knew what hit her.
Really?
I won a $50 bet I couldn't nail her. Look at the pictures to prove it, man.
You are the man. Wish me luck.
One of those, even you don't need luck.
I can't believe it. The man actually stole from me.
I think you should talk to Stan. Get him to do the right thing and give back your medal.
Oh, man. That is a conversation I am not looking forward to.
Just explain to him that you earned it, not him, and you want it back.
Oh, I don't know, son.
Well, you've known this guy for how long?
40 years. And that's what makes this all so difficult. This is a friend. Couldn't you just break in and steal it back?
Before we commit a felony, I think you should talk to him, man to man, because he's your friend.
Or what if he denies taking it?
Have the conversation. We'll see where we go from there.
Okay. See you later, sweetheart.
Bye-bye.
Oh, excuse me. Geneva, hold his calls. Mr. Cisco, when you hear what I have to tell you, you just might want me to start calling you Frank.
Hi, may I help help you?
Maggie Hicks to see Francisco.
Great, I'll let him know you're here.
Hi.
Hi. Maggie's here to see you? Okay.
What?
Nothing.
Hey, Maggie, come on in. How's the job treating you?
Well, my last assignment, I was a towel girl at Ruger's gym.
It's steroid bust.
Spent a month watching juiced-up muscle queens admire themselves in the mirror. Giving a skinny little twerp any day.
Will you settle for the star quarterback at Cannon High?
How do I fit in?
Steve Wegman's meeting him later on over at the Seven Palms. I need you to get him in a compromising position.
Oh. You want me to give him the Buckeye treatment?
I want to own this punk. George, this is Maggie Hicks.
Delighted.
Hey.
Maggie's going to be doing some work for us.
Oh, marvelous. If you have a seat, I'll get a W-4 and a proof of citizenship form.
Thank you.
So, looks like we're gonna be working together.
Are we? And what do you do around here?
Well, I'm a field agent. Specialize mainly in covert operations.
Sounds dangerous.
Well, it can be. But fortunately, I've got a pretty good team here to back me up.
Must be exciting.
The stories I could tell only,
You're not at liberty.
Right.
I understand.
Well, maybe later. I'm gonna be doing some pretext work at the Crocodile Lounge. We're looking at a possible Columbia drug connection. Anyway, maybe you'd like to meet me there for a brewski.
Well, I'd like to, but
But what?
I might have to arrest you for drinking underage.
Ms. Hicks?
First rule of undercover work. Don't be fooled by appearances.
Hiya, gorgeous.
Hi, Mr. Miller.
Hey, Dad.
Hey. I don't want to be one of those I told you so types, but I did. Hi, Steve.
Hey. You talked with Stan?
The man went ballistic. Not only did he deny having my medal, he said if I didn't get the hell out of his house, he'd knock my block off.
Yeah. I had a sense this guy could be a latent nut job.
Now he knows I know he swiped the medal, which means he's probably gonna fence the damn thing.
Hey, let's you and me fly in there like a couple of stealth bombers, swipe it back. What do you say?
Your best bet's tomorrow night. That's when he plays poker.
I don't know. Maybe I ought to have a talk with him.
Frank, I can't get the guy to reason with me. I've known him for 40 years. If you and Steve would just go in there and get the damn thing, it'd save everybody a whole lot of drama, and I might be able to salvage my friendship, such as it is.
All right. I'll take care of it.
Hey, you're not gonna do it alone, are you?
Yeah, I am. And you need to get over to the hotel with Maggie on that Ted Hardy thing.
I'm not doing anything until you agree to take me along with you. You need someone to watch your back.
Fine.
I'm coming too.
No, you're not.
You need a wheelman.
Dad, you're staying out of this. Let Steve and me take care of it, all right?
Okay. Just promise me you'll be careful.
Not to worry.
Yeah, you ever been to Ohio, Ted? No, not really. My grandparents are from the Midwest, but I grew up in Brentwood.
Well, let me tell you, you're gonna love it. I mean, the autumn leaves are a riot of color. There's a nip in the air. And of course, all those victory bonfires you have when you're playing quarterback for us is gonna warm up the climate considerably.
Yeah, I'm sure I'm gonna like it there.
Oh, yeah. So, now, we're not here to talk about weather, are we, Ted?
No, sir.
Now, I know a lot of schools are after you, but please believe me when I tell you belong at Ohio Tech.
You know, I know you guys got an awesome program, but I gotta be straight up with you. I mean, the offers that I've been getting so far have been substantial, if you know what I mean.
Well, the current climate of the NCAA, we both need to understand that we need some sensitivity and caution in the discussions we're about to have, all right? Let me ask you straight out. What's it gonna take to get in the running here, so to speak?
What can you tell me about financial aid?
I've been authorized to give a very generous proposal.
Could you be a little more specific?
Full tuition, room, board, certain other expenses.
So I'd be living on campus.
Unless you don't want to.
I think I'd definitely prefer to live off campus, but then I'd need a car, wouldn't I?
Most definitely.
Well, you know, I hear the roads back there in Ohio, you know, they get brutal in the wintertime.
No question about it. Four-wheel drive country.
Sure, that's what I thought. What about the academic program?
In terms of?
Yeah, flexibility.
Well, say you were to major in kinesiology. You can earn course credit in conjunction with your effort on a gridiron.
That's amazing, you know, because I've been given
Kinesiology?
A lot of thought.
Oh, it don't take much, does it?
No, sir.
Come here, son. Well, we can talk about details later. You thirsty?
Absolutely.
I bet you are. You know, I bet you're wondering what life is like at OT, huh? Well, I asked the student representative to come here to answer all your questions. Darcy, come on out here. Darcy Biggs. This is Ted Hardy.
Oh, my God. You have no idea what a pleasure it is to meet you in person.
You know me?
Oh, I've seen every one of your game films. The playoff against Crenshaw, when you threw 4 TDs and made that 38-yard broken field run. You were so awesome.
I think I'm gonna go down to the bar and have myself a beer. Let you two get acquainted.
I've never seen anyone with such a tight spiral. You must have incredibly strong arms.
Oh, well, yeah. That'll work out.
Yeah, I can tell. So your pecs, they must be... Oh, outstanding. You know, you're not just a great passing quarterback. You're an amazing runner, too.
Well, you can't run. I guess there goes your option play.
Yeah. So your thighs, they must be... Oh, unbelievable. You know, it's hot in here. Do you mind if I,
No, you go right ahead.
Probably because I'm so nervous being here all alone with one of the great sports legends of tomorrow. I need something to calm myself down. Do you mind?
No. Go ahead.
You go first. So how are you enjoying the Buckeye treatment so far?
Oh, I think I can get to like Ohio.
That's good. Ted,
Yeah.
look over there and smile.
Why?
Because you're on candid camera.
What the hell is this?
The end of your career as a rapist, Ted. Stick around. We're gonna replay that tape we just made for you.
Who are you?
Friend of Karen Diebold's.
Sorry, who?
The girl who's carrying your baby.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, I think you do. The question you gotta ask yourself now is what's gonna happen to those dreams of gridiron glory when ESPN gets a hold of that tape? You think any school's gonna be offering you a full scholarship when they see you smoking joints and soliciting payoffs?
This is blackmail.
Think of it as an opportunity to do the right thing. We're in the process of putting together a complete medical profile of the father. In short strokes, there are no hereditary diseases in the family, and all 4 of his grandparents are healthy and in their 80s.
Oh, that's good news.
This is a sworn affidavit attesting to paternity and relinquishing any claims by the father to the child's custody.
May I see that?
No. I'll only turn this over to Barry on the condition that it remain in his sole possession, and that I have his word as an officer of the court that he'll preserve this young man's anonymity per the mother's request.
What kind of game is this? We hired you to do a job.
You have the legal assurance you need for this adoption to proceed. The father's identity is irrelevant.
I don't know what you're trying to pull here, Mr. Sisko.
I'm trying to protect the privacy of these 2 kids who need to get on with their lives. That gets harder by a lot if the boy's name goes public.
This is totally unacceptable.
So what are you saying? You don't want this child?
I'm saying we have a right to know what we're getting into. We're the ones who are going to be raising this kid.
How does Mr. Cisco giving us a name change that?
We hired him to get information. Now he's adding a whole bunch of conditions. Who appointed him?
Lauren, this is not some battle of egos. I am not prepared to walk away from this adoption.
I'm not saying that we should. This raises a red flag for me is all.
Mr. Liebling, I know that you're nervous. I would be too.
Legally, you're getting everything you asked for.
The only question now is whether you want to actually be a father to this child.
Lauren, please.
All right.
Congratulations. You're about to start a family.
Thank you, Mr. Cisco.
Good luck to both of you. Hey, Ted.
What do you want?
What I want is to knock you on your ass, Ted. What I want is to see you doing 20 years in Chino for raping Karen Diebold. That's not gonna happen.
Look, I did everything you asked. Why don't you just quit bugging me?
Truth is, all things considered, you're a pretty lucky kid.
Yeah, how's that?
Because you're gonna get something very few criminals ever get. A second chance.
I gotta go, I'm late.
Think about it, Ted. You raped a defenseless girl, you got her pregnant, you gave her emotional scars she's gonna carry for the rest of her life, and you got away with it. But the catch is, if you think you got away with it, then you're gonna keep doing it until eventually you do get caught. And then everything you value in life will be gone. But if you look inside yourself now, if you admit what you did, how you hurt this girl who never did a damn thing to hurt you, then maybe you got a shot at growing up to be a decent man. Personally, I don't think you got what it takes. Personally, I think one day I'm gonna pick up a paper and see a picture of you in handcuffs with your coat up over your head.
Yeah, let me go.
Sure. Go ahead.
Hi, can I help you?
I'm Dr. Norman Rosenfeld. This is my wife. We're Robert Rosenfeld's parents.
Oh, well, Robbie's gonna be disappointed he missed you. He's out getting the groceries.
Robert buys your groceries?
Yeah.
I'd like to see Mr. Cisco, please. Tell him it's urgent.
Okay.
This morning, I received a call from Robert's principal. Apparently, he cut class so he could be your errand boy.
He told me there was a parent-teacher conference and he had the day off.
Ditching school and lying, that's what comes when you spend time in a place like this.
Robert is a young man of enormous promise, Mr. Cisco. 15, 16 as college boards, National Merit Scholar.
He plays the cello.
Our fondest hope is that one day he'll take over my medical practice.
We dream of that day.
But what does our son choose to waste his time and energy on? Becoming a private eye, of all things.
I understand your concern with Robbie ditching school and not telling the truth. But looking on the other side of the ledger, he's a creative kid with a great imagination who's passionate about something.
That's not passion, Mr. Cisco. That's delusion.
I'll have a talk with Robbie and tell him how disappointed I am in his behavior.
What we want you to do is to tell him that he doesn't have a job here anymore.
Dr. and Mrs. Rosenfeld, I don't want to get in the middle of how you're trying to raise your son. But it seems to me if I had a kid with his talent and enthusiasm, I'd celebrate it, not try to stifle it.
Let's go, Norman. I told you he wasn't going to listen to reason.
Where did you go to college, Mr. Cisco?
I didn't.
Uh-huh.
They were out of non-fat cream cheese, so I just got regular.
Your parents paid me a visit.
Norman and Arlene came to Culver City?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they were threatening to, but I never actually thought they'd go through with it.
You cut school today, didn't you?
Look, Mr. Cisco, I aced my first period calculus exam, and then I left. After turning in all of my homework and every extra credit assignment for the entire day.
That's not the point, Robbie. You lied to me.
No, I shaded the truth for a greater good.
And even though you helped us crack the Diebold case, you deliberately disobeyed me when I told you to stay out of it.
Right, but like Mr. Wegman says, the name of the game is results.
Listen to me. You could be the smartest guy in the world. But if you're known as someone without integrity, none of it matters. When I was on the job, there were smarter detectives. There are smarter PIs. But there's one important thing people can say about me. I've always dealt straight up with everyone. And that's something I'd like to be able to say about you, no matter what you end up doing with your life.
I'm sorry, Mr. Cisco.
From now on, these are the rules. Complete honesty with everyone. No cutting school. Your grades stay up, and you keep all your other commitments, or you're out of here. Understood?
Understood. I will not let you down.
Now, separate and apart from any problems you and I have, your parents don't want you working here.
Brother.
You need to straighten this out with them, because I don't want to get caught in the middle.
Norman and Arlene tend to overreact a little. I'll talk to them. Once they calm down, everything will be fine. I promise, Mr. Cisco.
Call me Frank.
Night vision goggles. C4 in case we're gonna blow up the safe.
Steve, we're looking at a plain Jane B&E here.
Frank, I was a Boy Scout. I lived by Baden Powell's credo. Be prepared. Eye black?
Pass.
Okay. Oof, almost forgot the chloroform.
What?
Well, in case Stan comes back early. Might have to knock him out. Ready? Let's do it.
Good to go.
All right. This puppy don't work. We'll go to the C4. I'll take point. Hold it. Did you hear something?
What?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear friend. Oh, man, we had you.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
We had you.
Yeah, you had me. Steve, now I gotta kill you.
Oh, come on, buddy boy. If you weren't such a stick in the mud, well, we wouldn't have had to bushwhack you and having a good time at your birthday. Happy birthday, man.
Well, I don't know if it falls out of the construction business. You got a second career in the theater.
One of the better pranks I've ever been associated with.
The medal, that was a prank too, huh?
No, that's real. I want you to have this.
I can't take your medal.
Yes, you can.
You earned this. You saved people's lives. You took a bullet. They give this to heroes. That's you.
I was just in the right place at the right time. You're the one who got yourself out of a really tight spot. One that I helped put you in. And you made a success out of yourself.
Dad.
You came and found me when you could have just tried to forget, like I did. And by making me accountable, you gave me another chance at having a life. I'm so proud of you, son. You're the real hero. Thank you, Frank, and happy birthday.
Tuesday, it's two of the most compelling home improvement episodes, starting at 8/7 Central, when Jill must face the loss of her father.
Oh my God.
And no one thought it could ever happen.
I feel like we're drifting apart.
There's trouble at home.
It's just been a long time since I've been attracted to somebody.
And you won't believe what happens next. Tom Wopat guest stars on the most shocking episode of the season, An Unforgettable Night.